we're going to go on part 2 so that you can have your time to watch them one after the other. Now, let's look at Nigeria. Kenya's protests has inspired some African countries to begin to think about doing some stuff. Kenya's protest was inspired by what happened in Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger Republic, where there was a drastic turnaround from slavery into taking their destinies in their hands. And you know what happened, what has happened? You know, the confederacy they are talking about amongst the nations, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and they have left ECOWAS and they are telling you they are no more coming back. And in fact, recently Mali was attacked. Some soldiers were killed, and it was also discovered by intelligence that some of these people killed, the soldiers killed some of these people who were part of the attacks were actually forces of Ukraine, which means there is a direct Western arrangement to disrupt what is going on in Niger Republic, Mali, and all those places where they have decided to take their freedom in their hands. Once people decide to take freedom in their hands, what happens is that the terrorists and all of that, and some agents of the Western nations are funded to come create chaos, troubles, and situations that would cause a lot of obstructions, so that there will be unrest in those places. And it will mean that because they are no more there, there are unrests. They will make sure that they keep these nations, or the nations that have decided to take their destinies in their hands, to keep them troubled, fighting here and there. They will keep looking for weapons, coming to buy weapons from them. They will keep being in famine, coming to buy GMO crops from them. And they'll keep demanding for things that they need because of the chaos and the troubles around the wars and all of that. These things are fundamental because evil people thrive when there is chaos everywhere, and that's how they make their money. That's how they keep the people subjugated and troubled. They keep the people arguing amongst themselves, fighting amongst themselves, so that they can continue to thrive. The people would lose focus. They would be distracted about things around them. And then the globalists, those who are causing the distractions, will be looting and carrying out their activities until they are strengthened to the point that the people will become taken unawares and then get into trouble and begin to struggle. That is what has happened over time. If you watch and observe the narrative of how colonial programs were being executed and how they found strong root in the African soil, you discover that the tool of destruction came into being. They started distracting the people, causing hunger here, causing tax this, tax that there. The people will come and get distracted. We want better governance. We want we want women to be included in fighting, in ruling. We want this to be added. We want that to be added. So you are depending on them to give you something that is called governance. And along the line, they begin to appoint 1 or 2 or 3, and then those ones who are influential being appointed, who have influence over a group of people, will now go back to their people and tell them, don't worry, we have secured our position here. Amongst them, they have given us a slot, so we don't need to fight, we have to relax and all of that. And then you on your own endorse the colonial masters against you and your people because you have been satisfied. And the same strategy is being used until now to keep our people down. Now let's look at Nigeria. The reason why it's going to be very difficult for anything to come out of Nigeria, especially the government, in the first place, is the government of Nigeria is not instituted to coordinate a nation. It is instituted to coordinate a business. Now you have to understand this, because perspective and understanding would help you know what you are fighting for. The Nigeria contraption is governed by businessmen put there in guise of a government to control the resources of the regions or the locals on behalf of the colonial masters, so that the government that is there in guise of those ruling in guise of governance or government of a nation are going to survive by looting and continuing to allow the colonial masters to loot. They are put there because they understand the language of the colonial masters. They know the colonial masters left that space or gave them something they call flag independence, or something called flag independence, of course, which is flag independence. Never give them true independence, but just give these people opportunity to sit as if the contraption is now independent, so that when you see these people, you say they are your people. They're the one, okay, now we have gotten independence, so we have our own government. But they are actually working on the order of the colonial masters. Ask yourself questions. Why do your people go to Chatham House in London to become candidates that you would vote for to lead you or rule you? Because it's rulership. What they do is rule people. Why? Now, I have a problem with the issue of the protests. The reason is, it seems the Nigerians, I would use the word Nigerians to qualify those people who claim to be citizens of Nigeria. And you know, when you say you are a Nigerian, it simply means that you are not intelligent, because you can't be a citizen of a business. It's crazy. You are Oduduwa, or you are Igbo, or you are whatever tribe, or as we put it, the Ijos, everybody coming together to become Biafrans. You are Biafran, you are Oduduwa, you are Hausa, you are whatever nation, you are Jugun, or all of that. You are a citizen of those nations, or of that nation that you belong. You cannot be a citizen of Nigeria because Nigeria does not belong to any tribe. Nigeria is a name created by the girlfriend, Flora Shaw, who is the girlfriend of Lugard, who was called a lord as at that time, because that is the title used to qualify them. He was a pirate and was given the mandate to govern and take over the territory of the indigenous people as at that time. And in 1914, his girlfriend suggested, we call this area, we call all of them coming together, we bring all of them together because they are now under our control based on our colonial program. They are under our control. So now let's give them a name that they would bear, so that when they bear that name, it means that they belong to us. When you have a dog, when you have a pet, you name the pet, which means that you own the pet. And when you keep calling the pet that name, it responds to that name and it behaves by the order of that name. If you are an Oduduwa person, or a Yoruba person, or Oduduwa person, and you are called a Nigerian, you should see it as offensive, because now you are a pet of the British contraption, or Lord Lugard. Why am I calling him Lord? He's not a Lord anyways. Sometimes we think that is part of his name. It's not part of his name. You can only be, when they call you Nigerians, you now dance, yes, we are Nigerians. That means you are behaving like that dog that have been told you are bingo. And the dog responds, bingo, bingo, it will start coming. You are a slave or a pet of Lugard, who is standing as proxy for the British government. So if, as Oduduwa citizen, or a Biafran citizen, or a Jugu citizen, or a Nupe citizen, or Bagi citizen, or Buhari citizen, or Hausa citizen, and you are called Nigerian, and you respond, it simply means that you are not intelligent. So I define a Nigerian as someone who is not intelligent. The opposite of intelligence is Nigeria, which means if you are a Nigerian, you are not intelligent. So that now confirms the truth of what I'm going to talk about. As a Nigerian, you are going to begin to demand for something that is not possible. What is not possible? How can you be demanding for good governance from a system that was put together to control you and your resources under the colonial program? How do you expect a business empire to give you good governance? It's just like you having a company. You determine how much you pay the workers. It doesn't matter how much you are earning. You can earn billions and you are paying your workers. You have few workers and you are paying them what you want to pay them. If they agree to your terms, they come to work for you. Nobody will tell you why you're paying your workers that. You can decide to increase your salaries when you want. It's your business, right? Which means you can't come and you can't be working somewhere and protest. This company is earning $2 billion. That means our salary, we're only 10 workers here. Our salaries must be $100 million each or $1 million each. Since we are 10, they give us at least $10 million each. That's 100 million out of 2 billion. No, you can't protest at that because you don't have a right to that. In fact, you will be sacked immediately because you don't have a right to tell how much you'll be paid. If they tell you that your salary is $100,000, even if they're earning $2 billion and you're 10 in that place, or $100,000 and 10 of you are earning $1 million and the company is gaining $1.99 billion or whatever it is gaining, it's the company, it's not yours. Yours is to do the job and be paid your salary. You can't tell the company that it's unfair. Even by moral sense, we know it's unfair, but you don't count it that way because legally, you're employed to work and be paid, and you were told this is what we're going to pay, and you agreed to it, and you decided to work. Now, you can't protest for such under a company and tell every worker we're going on, they must give us 50% of the income here. No, you can't do that. You can only resign and go somewhere else to work. That's what you can do. Now, how do you think that Nigeria being a business program instituted by the British, remember, it was an administrative program that was run connecting the Yoruba nation, the Hausa nation, and the Igbo nation together. And when they saw that they had been able to get the people to accept them by the people demanding that they give them good governance. And so the policies they brought in, the people said, okay, give us better one, give us this. We're going to pay tax, but if we're going to pay tax, the people accepted them from the initial stage. And once you endorse colonial rule over you, it will be difficult to escape it. You are going to lose lives. You're going to shed blood. You're going to really go through difficult times to lose it. When our forefathers and our ancestors and the people who were there at that time accepted the rule, you remember about women riot? They were rioting for to be included in the governance that the colonial masters were presiding over. If they had rioted against colonial what word do I use now? Against colonial rule, totally. That means we don't need you guys. We want to be on our own and rule ourselves. It would have made sense. But rioting that you should be included in in governance and the tax should be reduced. The tax is too high and women should be included in governance means that you have adopted and accepted them as your rulers. You only want a share of being part of the rulership, or you want them to include you in their administrative structure, which means you endorse them. So when those riots and those things were happening, the people actually fought not for their rights, but for being included under the slavery mandate to function under the colonial program, which means they rioted and accepted the fact that they are slaves, but should be given an opportunity or a role to play, even if they are slaves. So the people accepted colonial mandate, and it got entrenched in the fabric, on in the foundation of the nations, the Hausa nation, the Igbo nation, the Oduduwa nation. And so when that happened, it became static and stational. And so in 1960, when they pretended to give you independence, they gave you a flag independence because you have accepted them. You gave them the ground. They were able to penetrate and instill their principles, their narrative, and their plan, so that when they leave, they would put the people they have indoctrinated, who clamored to be part of the system, whom they now indoctrinated, to know how to manipulate the people in guise of governance. So when they left, they put criminals there, and those criminals beget criminals, and our people keep clamoring, give us this. They keep telling the criminals, give us this, give us this, give us that, give us good governance, give us this. And these criminals are working on the orders of the colonial masters who are in control of the territory, because they own Nigeria. They don't own Biafra, they don't own Oduduwa, they don't own Hausa, they own Nigeria. And Nigeria has been engrafted, if I use the word engrafted, or Nigeria has been conquered using the name. I mean, Nigeria is the name used to conquer Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, and other nations. So we are conquered people as long as we continue to accept the Nigeria name. This is what people don't understand. So when you come to the point of protests and you are asking for good governance from those who are working for your captors, or for those who conquered you, you are only saying that you have accepted that you are conquered, but you want these people who are working for them, for those who captured you or who conquered you, to give you some crumbs more. That's what it means. I'm going to talk more about this. I don't want this broadcast to be too long. This is the part 2. On part 3, I'm going to elaborate on what I'm saying, because we have to understand what is going on with Nigeria and you, so that you can understand what is going on and know whether what you are doing will yield fruit or not. But I can tell you categorically, except we ask for separation or to discuss about our union in the Nigeria marriage, we are not ready yet. If you are thinking that you want to ask for good governance and all of that, you're wasting your time, because good governance cannot come from what is not even a government. In the first place, it is a business arrangement. So they would always treat you as a product or as an employee who is working for the British. I'll talk more on this, and I'm going to expand to a point where you will understand better what I'm saying from this point. So I'll talk more on this, and we're going to listen to it better and do better things. I want you to subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed, and like this video, share on all your social media platforms, so that people can understand and people can join in and know what we're talking about and learn for the better. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. God bless you very good.